I've got 50 great games coming out in October that will be here before you know it. I'll list them in order of release and keep it brief so as not to waste your time. Because as you know, good things come in small packages. Digimon Story Time Stranger is an adventure RPG where you uncover the mystery of the world's collapse. Travel between the human world and the digital world, engage in turn-based combat with over 450 Digimon, and strengthen your bonds with them. An epic adventure that mixes time, parallel worlds, and strategy. Neon Inferno is a 2D side-scrolling action game set in a dystopian New York. Control Angelo or Mariana, use weapons and vehicles to defeat enemies and challenging bosses. Play solo or cooperatively and dominate the city in style. Limitless cyberpunk chaos. GIGASWORD is a Metroidvania where the weight of your sword decides the fate of the world. Explore the Nestrium Tower, solve puzzles, and face demons in an adventure of strength and strategy. Daimon Blades is a first-person roguelike where you hunt monsters in a dark fantasy world. Forge diamond weapons that grant devastating powers, explore biomes, and face deadly bosses. Blood, strategy, and relentless action. CARIMARA is a silent horror game where you explore a house full of ghosts and secrets. Reveal stories using cards and objects in an atmosphere of eerie calm and subtle terror. Dare to discover what the house whispers. Seafarer puts you at the helm of your own maritime adventure. Sail ships, complete quests, and face dynamic storms in an open world full of ports and cities. Set sail and rule the seas your way. King of Meat is an action game where you fight as a contender in Lorgok's biggest show. Customize weapons and style in combo-filled combat, or create dungeons to challenge your friends. Shrine's Legacy is an action RPG inspired by SNES classics. Explore Ardamia, fight in real time, solve elemental puzzles, and play solo or cooperatively. Get ready to save the world and forge your legend. Kingmakers takes you 500 years into the past to change the history of a medieval war. Combine real-time strategy with direct combat and massive armies. Action and tactics in an epic experience. Little Nightmares 3 is a stealth adventure game where two friends use a bow and a wrench to overcome obstacles and monsters in the terrifying world of nowhere. Explore eerie environments, solve puzzles, and survive in this dark and surreal journey. Fellowship is an online co-op game where teams of up to 4 players face growing dungeons, defeat bosses, and collect loot. Build your ideal team with tanks, healers, and DPS, and overcome challenges that get harder with each run. Coordinate strategies, master enemies, and climb the leaderboard. Absolum is a fast-paced beat-em-up with roguelite elements where unique heroes fight against the tyrannical Sun King Azra in the world of Talam. Combine combos, magic, and strategies in varied scenarios as you explore secrets and face unpredictable enemies. Play solo or cooperatively and lead the rebellion with style and power. By Sweet Carole is a narrative horror game set in the early 1900s where Lana Benton searches for her lost friend between the real world and the magical realm of Corolla. Explore dark orphanages, transform into a rabbit, and face terrifying creatures as you uncover secrets and puzzles. Yooka-Replaylee 3 is a colorful 3D platformer where heroes search for the Pagis stolen by Capital B. Explore imaginative worlds, overcome challenges, collect items, and improve your moves with new combos. With a retold story, minigames, and an orchestral soundtrack, get ready for a fun-filled adventure. Battlefield 6 is here, and it could be the great successor to BTF3 that fans have been waiting for years. We'll see how it goes. It's a first-person shooter focused on massive, realistic combat with modern warfare and huge maps. Take part in epic multiplayer battles, use advanced vehicles and weapons, and coordinate strategies with your team. Ballix PET is a fantasy roguelite where heroes descend into a pit filled with monsters to collect treasures and rebuild Balbalon. Fusion magic balls, recruit allies, and explore dangerous regions with unique enemies and bosses. Experience explosive combinations and master each level in this fast-paced adventure. Reach is a cinematic action adventure in VR where you play as a hero with extraordinary abilities. Jump, climb, and fight enemies in spectacular worlds full of secrets. Experience total immersion and let every move decide your fate. Keeper is a third-person puzzle adventure with a surreal story told without words. Explore a forgotten lighthouse and its mysterious surroundings accompanied by a curious seabird. Discover strange transformations, atmospheric landscapes, and a poetic journey full of mystery and wonder. Away from Home is an indie RPG where you control Abby and her brother Michael, exploring a world full of decisions that affect the story. It combines JRPG-style exploration with rhythmic combat, extensive quests, and alternate paths, all accompanied by detailed animations and an immersive soundtrack. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is an action RPG where you are a newly awakened vampire in modern-day Seattle. Hunt, use supernatural powers, and make decisions that affect the city and its vampire society in a story of mystery and hidden conflict. Jurassic World Evolution 3 puts you in charge of your own Jurassic Park, managing dinosaurs and attractions while keeping visitors safe. Breed and care for prehistoric species, create unique habitats, and deal with unexpected disasters. Build, customize, and share parks in a spectacular strategic experience. Ninja Gaiden 4 is a high-speed hack-and-slash game where young ninja Yakumo and Ryu Hayabusa face supernatural enemies in a futuristic Tokyo. Master precise combat, transform weapons with ninjutsu, and use legendary techniques as you unravel an ancient evil threatening the city. Painkiller is an action shooter where up to 3 players battle hordes of demons and huge creatures in purgatory. Jump, shoot, and use classic and new weapons, upgrade your skills with tarot cards, and choose from 4 heroes with unique advantages. Face Azazel and his Nephilim to seek your redemption. Isopod is a platformer where you control a roly-poly that traverses vegetation and faces enemy ants. Use a magnet to swing, catch projectiles, and manipulate objects as you explore. Customize your Isopod with unique and fun shells as you progress through this colorful world. Modulus is a factory simulator and creative sandbox where you design and automate systems using 3D modular blocks. With no enemies or time limits, experiment, optimize, and build complex structures at your own pace. Create unique factories, solve logic challenges, and enjoy the satisfaction of systems that just work. God Forsaken is a Diablo-style survival RPG where you face monsters and bosses in a land abandoned by the gods. Choose from unique classes, customize skills, and explore dangerous ruins as you fight to survive the darkness and restore hope in a world full of secrets and random loot. Relic Guardian is a pixel art tower defense game where you control Fran and protect Vortex Island. Use her power to move towers, transform warriors into spirit towers, and fight alongside Panny against enemies and bosses. Explore challenging levels, unlock upgrades, and face fantastic creatures in this strategic adventure. World in the Abyss is a survival game set in a post-apocalyptic underwater world where you build and defend your base, explore mysterious biomes, fight bosses, collect resources, and delve into the depths to discover secrets and survive the threats of the ocean. Moonlighter 2: The Endless Vault is an action RPG with roguelike elements where you manage your shop in the village of Tresna. In this second installment, you explore dungeons, collect relics, upgrade your inventory, and reinvest in the village while decorating your shop, negotiating with customers, and facing challenges to make your home and its inhabitants prosper. Vampires Bloodlord Rising puts you in the shoes of Dragos, a vampire who explores an open world, builds a gothic castle, and makes decisions that affect allies, enemies, and the fate of Sangavia. Misery is a stalker-style cooperative roguelite. Explore the Zaslavi exclusion zone after a nuclear attack, facing mutants, anomalies, and other survivors. Build your bunker and survive hunger, radiation, and madness. The classic tower defense game returns fully remastered in HD with new levels, local co-op, and PvP modes. Defend your garden, relive the minigames, and take on challenges like Cloudy Day and Hardcore mode with permadeath. Discover secrets, explore concept art, and enjoy 15 years of zombie mayhem. The award-winning survival horror returns. Follow Caroline and Anna as they explore the eerie Villa Hesse, facing deadly enemies, solving complex puzzles, and switching between realities to change the past and survive. Uncover dark secrets, use improvised weapons, and decide your fate in this story full of twists and psychological horror. Deathframe is a first-person psychological horror game where you explore the mansion of a serial killer and his fragmented memories. Solve puzzles and collect fragments as the madness grows, facing abstract worlds filled with fear, macabre art, and secrets. Escape Simulator 2 is the sequel to the popular escape room game, featuring new rooms and puzzles. Play alone or with up to 8 players online and solve mysteries in an immersive way. Master of Command is a real-time tactical strategy game set during the 7 Years' War. Lead historical armies, manage supplies, and make decisions that affect every battle. Customize units, fight on procedurally generated maps, and face situations where morale and logistics are key. The Horde Wants You Dead is a chaotic shoot-'em-up where you and your squad must survive massive hordes of enemies. Throw grenades, dodge attacks, and adapt your strategy based on the type of enemy. Play in 4-player online co-op, upgrade weapons and skills with limited supplies, and customize your character with unique traits to face battle. Simon the Sorcerer Origins is the prequel to the classic saga where Simon explores a magical world full of strange creatures and useless sorcerers. Solve puzzles, master spells and alchemical devices, and enjoy its signature absurd humor in a hand-drawn graphic style. The Outer Worlds 2 is a first-person sci-fi RPG. As an agent of the Earth Directorate, you must investigate rifts that threaten humanity, explore the Arcadia colony, face warring factions, and make decisions that affect the story. Recruit companions, customize your character, and shape the fate of the galaxy. Arc Raiders takes us to a devastated world where machines rule the surface and humanity survives underground. As a raider, you must risk everything by exploring, facing enemies, and other players to survive. The big question is, how far will you go to get what you want? Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake revives the two classics that started the saga, now with a modern and vibrant visual style. You can face the fearsome Dragon Lord or join Erdrick's heirs on an adventure filled with kingdoms, seas, and turn-based combat, a heroic return you won't want to miss. Tales of Xillia Remastered revives the legendary adventure in Res Maxia, where humans and spirits live together in harmony. Play as Jude or Milla, enjoy the dual raid combat system and visual enhancements with extra content included, an epic experience that returns more complete than ever. Mina the Hollower is a dark retro action adventure created by the developers of Shovel Knight. With her whip, weapons, and unique relics, Mina must explore a cursed island filled with monsters, secrets, and challenging bosses. A gothic journey full of excitement that revives the classic essence of the genre. Terminator 2, No Fate revives the classic battle against Skynet in a pixel art action arcade game. Play as Sarah Connor, John, or the T-800 as you face off against the T-1000 and the machines in intense missions. With multiple game modes and an epic soundtrack, the war of the future starts now. Flesh Made Fear brings back classic survival horror with a modern twist. Between puzzles, tense combat, and deformed creatures, your mission will be to take down a mad scientist and survive his horrors. Enter the darkness if you dare. MIMESIS, The Fall of Society is a survival horror game where rain transforms people into imitators capable of copying you completely. Together with other survivors, you must keep a tram running, search for resources, and distrust even your own allies. Swapmeat is a cooperative roguelite where each defeated enemy grants you limbs and mutant powers. With frenetic combat and strange planets, you must adapt in each game to survive. Meet bullets and mutations at their finest. Dice Legends is a solo roguelike where each hero uses a different die to unleash their power. Combine cards, items, and synergies to create unstoppable combos as you face monsters and travel through a world marked by magic. My Card is Better Than Your Card is a card roguelike where you create your own cards with adorable stickers with different effects. With unique opponents and many combinations to discover, every game is different. Make your deck the coolest and conquer the playground. Thanks for watching the video. Here's another video that I'm sure you'll love.